As I mentioned in one of my recent videos, I'm kind of starting to give up on the idea that gold might have a deeper pullback during this intermediate cycle low. I want to look at some of the previous breakouts. Very often, a long consolidation period, I've got the last three on here, will be followed by a big C wave advance. We are clearly in the C wave of this bull market. This was the A wave. The A wave rarely makes new highs. It kind of sets the stage for a difficult B wave decline, and in this case, I would argue the B wave lasted all the way until this bottom in the summer of 2018, and then we started the C wave advance. We're still in it. I think we're probably going to be in it. I was kind of thinking maybe we might get a bubble top in mid 21, but we're just not getting that slingshot move that I'm looking for that would drive a bubble. You really need that big move, counter trend move that gets everybody on the wrong side of the boat in order to build the kind of sentiment that would drive a bubble phase, and we're just not getting it here. So I think I've kind of changed my mind. I think the bubble phase is probably going to be pushed out to maybe 24 or 25 when we would be due for the next 3-year cycle low in the dollar after the one that's coming due here in 21. But we are clearly in the C wave advance. So we'll start back here. You can see this was our D wave, A wave bounce, the B wave decline, and then we started the C wave advance. And then when the C wave finally broke out above these highs, we get this big powerful move, and that is the C wave advance of this leg up in the bull market. All right, and then of course what follows a C wave advance is a D wave decline. I've noted this before. These D waves will often retrace back to the top of the previous C wave, and this one did that. This was the financial crisis in 2008. This D wave came back down to test this previous C wave top here. We get our A wave bounce. It did not make a new high, tested it though. We get a difficult B wave decline. That sets the stage for the C wave to start. And then we get our big monster C wave advance. And you can see these consolidations are getting bigger. And then the C wave advance, by definition, ends up being bigger than the previous. So this was a pretty good move right here. Once this breakout occurred, gold advanced about 38, almost between 38 and 40%, somewhere in that neighborhood from this breakout to this C wave top. Then we get a bigger correction, deeper correction, test this C wave top, a longer basing pattern. We get the breakout, and then this is ends up being a much bigger C wave. This C wave, once this breakout occurred, tacked on about 88 to 90% once the breakout occurred. Now we've got the biggest and longest consolidation of this entire bull market. A very deep pullback, but again, this pullback was deep enough to retest this C wave top, which is the characteristic of a D wave, and then we built this powerful rounded bottoming pattern, and we've got completed our first attempt at a breakout. As I've noted before, breakouts that occur very late in an intermediate cycle often are not sustained. This one was not. We're back retesting this breakout, which again is not unusual. We had a retest during this breakout in this C wave. So this first sustained breakout retested the breakout here, and then we continued up to this final C wave top about a year and a half later. So we're getting a retest now, and this has been a pretty deep retest. It's gone back to the 850 zone. So we've retested and dropped about $70 below this C wave top. But if we extrapolate from these last two breakouts, 38% gain off of this once this C wave broke out to new sustained new highs, and then this time bigger consolidation, bigger C wave, 88% gain, much bigger base, and we're just now getting the breakout. So even if we only go 100% on this C wave breakout, which would be just a little bit bigger than this breakout, we would be looking at a final C wave top somewhere in the 3,800 to 4,000 zone before this C wave tops, and I'm of the opinion that this C wave will give us our final bull market top. So at some point here we'll have a final bubble phase, but I think we have to have a slingshot move before we can have the bubble phase, and that's the problem right now with this transitioning into the bubble is this is just not a slingshot type move. We have not pulled back far enough at all to set up a slingshot. So maybe once we get the bounce out of the 3-year cycle low in the dollar, that 3-year cycle low is going to be due sometime in the spring or summer of 2021. It should give us a nice bounce of anywhere from 6 months to maybe even as long as a year. That could possibly give us that slingshot pullback that would then set the stage and ignite the final bubble phase of gold's bull market. So we are definitely in a C wave advance. We are trying to break out above these all-time highs, the C wave top here. We are retesting that breakout. Once this retest is completed, then I think this C wave has several years to go yet, maybe as many as another 4 years to go before a final top, and I think the final top will gain at least 100% from this breakout point, and maybe considerably more if we do transition into a bubble at the end of this.